People keep asking how to get rich in America. They want some secret AI trick, or a magic stock, or the next Tesla. Meanwhile, they're quietly burning 6 or 7 figures of future wealth on something they barely think about: the car they drive to work. So let me be very direct. If you're buying a car on your salary, especially if you're financing a shiny new one, you're making one of the most destructive financial decisions in your life. Not because cars are evil, but because you're feeding the wrong machine. I build machines that scale: rockets, factories, AI systems. Most people build a machine that scales in reverse, a lifestyle that eats every extra dollar and compounds in the wrong direction. The car payment is usually the core engine of that machine. If you're serious about freedom, you need to stop treating cars as trophies and start treating them as tools. Let's run this the way an engineer would, with actual numbers, not feelings. Right now in the United States, the average new car price is over $50,000. That used to be a luxury number. Now it's normal. Most people don't have $50 in cash. So here's what they do. They put maybe 20% down, $10,000. They finance $40,000 over 5 years at something like 7% interest, which is around current auto loan levels. That gives you a monthly payment close to $800. Over 60 months, that's around $48,000 in payments, plus the $10,000 down. You're at about $58,000 for the privilege of driving a normal new car. But that's only the obvious part. You're also paying insurance, full coverage, because the bank requires it. In the US, total insurance cost can easily be $1,800, $2,400 per year. Call it $10,000 over 5 years. Maintenance: even new cars need tires, oil, brakes. A conservative $1,000 per year is $5,000 in 5 years. Fuel, at average mileage and gas prices, maybe $1,800 per year, or roughly $9,000 over 5 years. Registration and fees a few hundred a year, say $3,000 total. Add those, purchase, plus loan plus down, $58,000 insurance, $10,000 maintenance, $5,000 fuel, $59,000 registration fees, $53,000. You're at roughly $85,000, burned over 5 years for one car. At the end of those 5 years, your $50,000 car is maybe worth $20,000, $25,000. The rest is gone. Now most people shrug and say, well, that's life. That's a design choice. You chose to route $60,000, $80,000 through a machine that spits out a rapidly depreciating hunk of metal and a small resale value. Now let's ask the only question that matters. What happens if you design this differently? You do need transportation. You do not need a brand new $50,000 car to move your body from point A to point B. So here's what I would tell you to do if you're still building wealth in America. Buy a boring, reliable used car in the $10,000, $15,000 range. Something like a 58-year-old Toyota or Honda with a clean history. Pay cash, no loan, no payment. Let's say you buy a $15,000 car instead of the $50,000 car. On day one, you've freed up $35,000 of capital. If you take that $35,000 and put it into a broad, low-cost S&P 500 index fund, which has historically returned around 10% per year over the long term. Here's what happens. After 10 years, around $90,000. After 20 years, around $230,000. After 30 years, around $600,000. So that one decision, less car, more assets, is not a $35,000 decision. It's a potential $600,000 decision over a typical working life. And that's just the difference on one car. Now zoom out. They roll from car to car, every 4-6 years. Often always with a payment. If you repeat the nice new car habit for 40 years, you can easily vaporize hundreds of thousands to over $1 million, compared to a strategy of driving modest, pay-off used cars, and investing the difference. So when you see someone in a $70,000 SUV with a $900 monthly payment, you're not looking at wealth. You're looking at their retirement on wheels, slowly depreciating in the parking lot. This is why I get impatient with the "I deserve it" argument. You're not just treating yourself. You're quietly voting against your own future freedom. Here's how I think about cars in first principles. A car is a tool to move you and your brain to high-value activities. Any dollar above, reliable and safe, is either ego or entertainment. Ego and entertainment are consumption. Consumption doesn't compound. If you want to become wealthy, your primary job is to feed the compounding machine, not the consumption machine. So here are the rules I'd give you about cars if you want to maximize freedom. No car loan if you're not already rich. If you can't pay cash without flinching, the car is too expensive. The loan doesn't make you able to afford it, it just makes the pain slower and larger. Buy used, not new. New cars take the steepest depreciation hit in the first few years. Let someone else pay for the new car smell. You buy the 3-5-year-old version for 40-50% off. Drive it for a long time. The compounding advantage comes from not restarting the 50-year burn cycle over and over. Keep the car 10 years or more if it's mechanically sound. Cap your car budget as a fraction of your net worth, not your income. If your investments don't dwarf the price of your car, the car is winning and you are losing. A simple rule: if your car is worth more than 15% of your net worth, it's probably too expensive for where you are. Let your assets buy the car, not your salary. If you want a $40,000 car, build a portfolio large enough that 1 year of its growth could buy that car. That means your focus stays on building the portfolio, not upgrading the car. Now, people will say, "But Elon, I need something safe." Modern used cars are very safe. You don't need a brand new $70,000 SUV for safety. You need functioning airbags, seat belts, and a brain that isn't checking social media while driving. But I drive a lot. Then you need fuel efficiency and reliability, not a badge. A cheap, efficient car plus hundreds of thousands invested is a better system than an expensive car plus constant money stress. But I want something nice, fair, you're human. Then be honest that you're buying a luxury, not an investment. If you say, "I know this car will delay my freedom by 15 years, but it's worth it to me emotionally," that's at least an informed trade. What's dangerous is believing the car makes you rich when it actually chains you to more work. Here's the big idea. You can absolutely have nice things. Just don't sacrifice multiplying machines to get depreciating toys. If you want a rich person mindset, it's this. First, build assets that make work optional. Then, let those assets fund stupid toys if you still care. Most people invert that. They buy the toys first, then wonder why freedom never shows up. So if you're watching this in America in 2026 and you're not financially independent yet, here's my car advice. In one sentence: drive the cheapest reliable car your ego can tolerate and send the difference into assets that compound. It's not sexy. It won't impress anyone for 3 days on Instagram. But 20-30 years from now, it's the difference between working until you're 70, so the bank can keep deducting payments from your account, or being free in your 50s with the option to work on what you want, when you want, because your past decisions are paying you every month. One of those futures is worth a lot more than leather seats. If this changed how you see your car, don't just like the idea. Change the car. Subscribe, drop your current car and payment in the comments, and use this video as the moment you stopped letting a vehicle drive your life for you.